Hey everyone, and welcome back to the last episode of Temple Trials. You are correct. Yes, we are at the end game and we are so close to have this finished. There are a few things that obviously I need to do, like trick work and sound, like soundtrack and all that stuff. But besides that, we're pretty much done. And today you are seeing me building the treasure room, which is gonna be the most, like, that's where the whole story kind of ends most likely, where the artifact hunter with his crew get in here, they get the diamond, and whenever they get the diamond, everything everything shuts down, like light, everything, and you hear this kind of like rubble-ish, kind of like the temple is about to demolish itself, like fall down and etc. And that's what I've wanted to do for a long time, and we're finally at that stage today. So my goal was to kind of like have this sort of circle where we in the middle have this gem, as you see, like very classic, very like normal setup when it comes to this sort of adventure treasure kind of hunt. And I think it looks superb when everything kind of like comes together nicely. And I'm kind of like trying to use different kind of pieces that I haven't used before. As you can see here, we're using the Ghost or Temple pieces from the Ghostbusters pack and just kind of like mixing and mingle everything nicely together. Afterwards here, I'm kind of like trying to make a round sort of banner all the way around the pit here, as you can see. And I'm just really trying to evolve as many different pieces as I can. You can see I got the Themaker Toolkit rune piece. We got some oriental pieces and of course the adventure one. In general, what we are missing here is all the trigger works, as I say. We're missing all the sounds. I'm missing the cue work and the restaurant, but that is stuff I will either way do on stream or finishing off in the background. So this is the last video of Temple Trials. So if you guys like this project, let me know in the comments down below what is your favorite scene so far. And I cannot wait to show this whole ride for you guys, because this is going to be exceptional. It's going to be one of my best dog rides I've ever made. And I think it's a perfect ending to a good series. As you can see here, I'm just trying to make different types of walls so we don't get like a repetitive sort of sense of this. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding this little Ghost or Temple as well, a little chain with some lighting on. And then on the other ones, we have like this little diamond gem that kind of like shines into it here. This room is going to be super immersive, and it's going to be a lot of cool things happening here as well. It's going to be very much trigger work in here. And then when I'm done with this room, we're kind of like moving back towards another room and kind of like preparing another room that I will explain to you guys how it goes. But basically the story is about Thomas the artifact hunter, which have a little crew with him. He has like a dynamite expert, and then he has a third one with him that is kind of like his, how do you say, his good sense, because Thomas is kind of like a little bit of a, he just does what he do. He doesn't really think about the consequences. So like he's the one that usually activates the traps, or he's just in a hurry. And then you have more of a little bit of an expert with him as well. And these people are going to be voiced by people in the community, and that's going to be very fun and very interesting to see and hear when everything really comes together nicely. As you can see here, just doing a little bit of extra work here, doing a little open broken wall, because it kind of adds to the effect in here, and I kind of wanted to enclosure it and make a little bit of a different things, as I say, so it's not 100% repetitive here. And yeah, it really works. And of course we need a little pit of danger here, the death, and I really like how these pointers adds to the whole vibe as well. Afterwards I put in some mist, and it really gives that super nice vibe to it, that you don't want to fall into the pit, because otherwise you're probably not going to survive. But yeah, I'm just mingling up a lot of different things here, just making sure that the track itself can ride on this and not clip or collide with anything specifically. So the ride itself, I don't want the ride to actually drive all the way into the gym, as I say. We will most likely have it stopping, and then we will have a few animatronics, a few voicing going on, and then eventually when you hear someone say, "Take the gym," he'll take the gym and everything goes black. And then you will start hearing the rumble, and as soon as the light turns on again, you'll have all these rumble pieces coming down from the ceiling, and just very chaotic. Like, you gotta run out of here right now, otherwise it's gonna end bad for you. And I think that's super dope, and I cannot wait for the trigger work to start and show you guys all my plans I've had in my head with this ride, which is a lot. I mean, I've told you guys literally everything of my brainstorming throughout this entire series. Some things I've changed and some things I kept going with, and it's kind of like how it's been so far. And as I say, I've had Coaster Cat helping me building the queue, and also it's gonna help me building the pre-show. But besides that, everything has kind of like, as I say, some things kind of diverted into something else because of how the scenery and how I build the scenes, and others has kind of like been still like what I wanted to do with this ride in general. So as you can see here now, we are building a dome, mainly just for the inside part of the ride here. As you can see, it's pretty simple. I'm using all the adventure pieces and just doing the spin around all of it. And then I'm kind of like just fading in everything I kind of can in this sort of little area here, building this flower. And then I want it to be 100% synced with this. So you can see I'm kind of like moving it a little bit here now. So it's completely synced, like straight ahead with the dome as well. So, and afterwards there, I'm just fixing up a little bit of things. And moving forward, we are adding in some lighting now, which is the fun part to make this very immersive and very mysterious. And as I said it previously, is that a lot of these lights are gonna completely be synchronized to a trigger, that they all just completely goes dark when you hear this a certain story that they're taking the gem and now they're gonna escape this whole temple. And we're moving forward a little bit after too, where you kind of see what my thought about this too, with the whole dynamite, the whole explosion and everything like that too. But yeah, I'm adding these lasers here because why not? It's super cool. And then obviously they also gonna turn off at the same time as well. And then we're just kind of like airing this super eerie vibe with a little bit of clutter, a little bit of overgrown, like this has been here for a long time. And you will eventually also see a few skeletons and bones placed around here, and like a little bit, you know, all the foliage and roots, and just that no one has ever visited here, and whoever did never got out safely or anything, you know. So that's kind of like the vibe I wanna achieve with this look here, and also placing a little bit of gold, a little bit of treasure, you know, all that good stuff, just so it's not only the gem here, but the gem is the more important part of the trip and of the adventure exploration, more or less, that they're doing here. But yeah, I'm just kind of like duplicating a little bit of skeletons and bones and stuff to get that eerie vibe as I really want to. And then afterwards, we're kind of like adding these sort of little lanterns to be like part of the whole like immersiveness of like, this is the pathway you gotta take to go to over here, and the other one obviously broke down a little bit. But besides that, I really like the environment and like the whole vibe of this. It's perfect, and it's just as I imagine it, as to be like the more supreme end scene of the whole ride itself. Yeah, I think it's super dope. And as you can see, I just added a little bit of ceiling decoration here with the Ghostbusters temple pieces too, and it works very well as well. So so now I'm doing the outskirts, kind of like the boundary of the whole ride here as well for the end scene here. As you can see, just taking the previous wall I had, and then afterwards just adding a few more details as I've done, and adding a little bit of light and candles inside here just to get that nice little grungy, like, you know, cement concrete vibe, as I really like. And here I was like, I need some sort of mysterious statue standing, so I had this too, and I duplicated that for every second, and then just kept it without it for the other part. And I gotta say, like, when all of this just came together, it just looks so awesome. and the ride doesn't even clip or collide with anything, and if it does, I kind of like just change it so it's very, very small, like barely even touching it. But as you can see, just removing them and just kind of like trying to achieve the effect I want here, and then you can see slowly that afterwards everything just looks freaking epic, and that's kind of like my goal I wanted to achieve here. So yeah, and afterwards I'm using the Gorser Temple again here from the Ghostbusters pack to kind of like close off the gaps between here, so I don't have any holes or anything when the riders are going through here, and it really just adds perfect here. There's nothing really else that would fit perfectly here, and since I've already used them in the middle and sort of texture wise, they fit perfectly. And I know a lot of the like color schemes and all that stuff kind of like is a little bit all over the place, but it's gonna be a dark ride, so a lot of the things are mainly placed around with lights and stuff, so sometimes it's nice to have this just basic colors, because then the lights at night becomes better. Here I am starting to make this escape route from the temple here. So here is gonna be like a big explosion whenever you guys will eventually see this whole thing come together nicely. So what I'm doing is that I'm pretty much just making it look like, you know, like a lot of dirt, a lot of ground, a lot of terrain you're going through, and it's pretty much just kept up by these lampposts, or no, these planks here that obviously will break when they go through them and stuff. So the dynamite expert that are with him on this chip here are gonna like make an explosion, and we're gonna make a big hole in the wall, and then afterwards we're gonna find a little shortcut-ish through the mountain, through the temple ruins, that will go straight over to the other scene where we have the aqueduct, and later on the previous scenes you saw me do in the last video. So as you can see, everything is pretty much coming together nicely here, using the in-game rocks with a little bit of Theme Maker Toolkit pieces, some temple pieces, and then afterwards this is just gonna be a complete like drive through, where it's just gonna be the pillars here breaking off, and we're gonna have some high volume, like high tempo music to make it feel like you're actually trying to escape from it not falling apart and not falling on top of you. And I think that's super cool. So I had to figure out a way where I could kind of do that. How can I make a hole with an explosion of the pieces we have? So I like brainstormed back and forth a little bit, but I did actually find a pretty good result on how to do this properly. Afterwards, I'm putting in, you know, those two knuckles walls that kind of like can open up. I put them in there, and I feel like if I can synchronize that nicely with an explosion, it can kind of open up and they can ride straight through. And I think that's a pretty cool idea actually, and I think it's gonna be super dope when I actually will manage to make it super cool, as you can see right here, as I talked about. So I'm putting these in the way, and then we'll just have them as a wall. But if we put a little bit of explosions and a little bit of smoke, then we can make it look like it actually just disappears, and a wall is, or a hole in the wall is just appearing after the explosion. And that's kind of like the vibe I want to do here too, and that's how they will get out of the temple when they've stolen the gem. And I think that's super cool, and I cannot wait to play around with the triggers and all that stuff. Maybe I'll do that on a stream once, but this is the last Temple Trials speed build video you will get on the channel. The next time you'll see Temple Trials will be the dog ride itself, and I'm hoping with all the things I need to do and finish up, we're talking like a month or so from this video till I will be completely finished with the ride. Because as I say, there's still a little bit of planning, a little bit of triggers, a little bit of script I need to write. I need some new narrators, a few voices from the community, and etc. So but the ride itself now is pretty much done. We have all the scenes we want, and there's not really else much more to do besides the things I just mentioned to you guys. So it's pretty epic, honestly. And yeah, so we are in the Crypt room. This is going to be the room where you will eventually see like the big guardian of all of the rides, the whole scenes you've been through. And this is going to be the last stage that will open up into the treasure room that you just saw. So we will be having a little bit of a narration kind of going on here as well, and trying to see what we can kind of figuring out to immerse with the ride itself as well. So everything kind of like works together nicely. Each scene just is a perfect step in towards another scene. And this is temple trials, so you will have a lot of like trials coming up towards you in the whole ride here, and that's going to be the whole ride experience. And I am very excited to put everything together nicely. I have only made the track ride itself, and I haven't not even started on the triggers because I knew I was going to have a lot, so I rather wanted a whole ride completed before I started doing trigger work, because sometimes you kind of want to go back and add some other stuff. So I just kind of want to keep it clear, and then now I can fully go and start with all the trigger work here. And yeah, it's gonna be freaking cool. And I'm excited for you guys to see this whole ride when it's done. And I hope you like it, because this has been such a fun theme and fun experience to build. Honestly, like I've had like a good spark when it comes to all this, because I had told you guys before I've wanted to do this for a long time. So it is perfect that that this is the ride that we ended off with, especially with the adventure theme, you know, because it's just so epic. I'm putting in a little gate, as you saw here on the right, and a little bit of triggers too that eventually will move and turn around, and then the gateway and the door here will eventually open up, right? But this is kind of like the crypt room. So this is like here where all his guardians and all his soldiers and all the ones that worshipped this person are buried with him. As you can see on the left, we got a few mummified animatronics over there, and then we're gonna just put in a little bit of, you know, overgrown stuff here as well, and make it feel like that some others has also been here before, but they never got further than here. This is gonna be like, you'll see a lot of like skeletons and bones lying around, but that is mainly because to represent that a lot of people didn't make it, and they really tried, so they just gave up at the end, you know. So but yeah, here I'm just doing the last bits of the little worship shrine here, little crypt, and then I'm pretty much done, guys. This was the end of Temple Trials. I hope I will see you guys in my new next series or video, and I will premiere this on the channel when it's done, so we can watch it all together. Enjoy the cinematics, friends, and I hope you enjoyed the series. Let me know what you think of it all, and have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.